Very soon, Ben, as you all know, is going to be a daddy. I can tell you, I'm a girl dad. I'm a son dad too, but I'm a girl dad as well. And when I hear somebody like a Donald Trump talking about Kamala Harris, talking about Hillary Clinton, two women, and making the claim that the only way that these two brilliant women made it to the top, which is where they both are, is by performing fellatio. It is, to me, the single most disgusting thing that you could possibly say. It undermines the fact that they worked hard their whole lives, that they studied hard, they did great things. Hillary Clinton is, what was she, Yale Law or Harvard Law School? And the same thing with Kamala Harris, prosecutor, senator, vice president. Seriously, Donald, did either of their daddies give them 5, 6, 100 million, whatever the $1 billion that he ended up giving you because Fred Trump was a greater success than you? A greater success by a multitude? So the only way that they succeeded was by performing sex acts for people? It is, yes, it is so fucking disgusting. It is so demeaning. But it's not just demeaning. It's not just demeaning to Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. It is demeaning to every single woman in this country, to every single woman in the world who has succeeded because of their brains, because of their abilities, because of their competence. So different than Donald Trump, who is a fucking incompetent fool, who by his own sister's admission is one of the dumbest human beings that she has ever met. His own sister called me when he ended up running in 2015 saying, "You need to get my brother to stop this. He is a dumb shit and he is going to embarrass our family name for years and generations to come." This is their family. And when you disrespect one, you disrespect all. Neither of these women, neither of these accomplished women ended up succeeding because of the allegations that he and Shady Vance and so many other sycophantic assholes are making and claiming about them. It is disgusting how any single woman, any woman could possibly vote for either of these two motherfuckers is beyond me. How any man who cares about a woman could vote for these two motherfuckers.
You told the story before the break, but tell us about it. You know, which sister of Donald Trump's reached out to you? It's an interesting story that I don't think a lot of people, you know, if they've read your books, they may have heard it. But tell us about it in a little bit more detail. When did it take? How long into the campaign did it take place, and how did you respond?
It was right after the very start of the campaign, after Trump came down the golden escalator and made the disparaging comments about Mexicans. You may recall he turned around and he said that Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers and murderers, but there are some that are good people. Within a few days thereafter, Judge Marion Barry, one of the nicest, kindest, brightest people that I've met when I was there at the Trump Organization. I was very close with her. We used to speak on a regular basis. I would bump into her regularly, and she was a very, very good person, bright as can be. And she called me up and she goes, "You need to get my brother out of this thing." And I said, Judge Barry, I don't think he's stepping aside. You know, he wants to go for it. He's an idiot. He's a dumb idiot. He's going to embarrass our entire family. He's going to ruin our family name for eternity, for generations on generations. Michael, you need to get him. So I said, Judge, I got to be honest with you. He's petrified of you. You should call him and tell him. I said, you're about the only one that could actually stop him from doing this, because he's committed to this. He's not going anywhere. And she said that she was going to speak to him. And you know what? She did, but he turned around and he said, no, it's they're mistaking, because it's the same shit that he does now. That's not what I said. It's the media who doesn't want me in this race, blah, 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 and all that stuff. That's what it was with Judge Barry, who is a federal court judge based out of New Jersey. Just a wonderful, wonderful person.
So tell us about, you said that Trump was scared of her. Give us more information there.
Well, she was very much a powerful woman. And, being an older sister and a judge and exceptionally, exceptionally bright, which Donald is not, he feared her. And he always, not only did he fear her, he always sought her approval. Of all of his siblings, he always sought his sister, Judge Barry's, approval for various different things. She's the one person that, when she called, he didn't roll his eyes and wonder. I remember when Tiffany would call, and all of a sudden you'd hear Rona screaming in the background, Mr. Trump, Tiffany's online too. And he'd be like, oh God, what? They pick up, hey, sweetheart, what's up? I'm busy. And it's just, look, there's so few words that one can say that I haven't already said. The guy is a piece of shit. How is he still even in a race? How is it that all of these disgusting, racist, sexist, misogynistic, xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, transphobic, anti-Semitic rants that he goes on, he and Shady Vance, how is it not already precluded him from being the nominee on behalf of the Republican Party? One of our two political parties, our only two. Don't tell me about the independent party. It's not even, it's not a real party. They're not really in the race except in a couple of locations. One of our two major political parties, the candidate, the representative of that party, is a fascist, an autocratic wannabe, and a complete and total fucking disgrace of a human being. A complete. He is a total disgrace. He's a woman hater. He is an immigrant hater, despite the fact that two of his wives are foreigners, are immigrants. He's a narcissistic sociopath. He's an anti-Semite. He is a racist. And yet, despite the fact that Kamala Harris is pulling ahead, the momentum is all on the Harris wall side, and it is diminishing on a daily basis. There you go, with the Trump Vance ticket. It's amazing to me. You look at Arizona, 1 point different. Go back for 1 second. 1 point different. Georgia, 2 point. Nevada, 2 point. North Carolina, right? -1, right? How? And it's all within the plus or minus 3 margin of error. How? Are there really that many Americans that are this stupid, that ascribe to these racist and these horrific traits that Donald Trump and Shady Vance demonstrate on a daily basis? What about, for God's sakes, the veterans? How is it that I constantly see people there on, whether it's X or Threads or, anywhere on my TikTok show or on my YouTube channel, the Michael Cohen Show, commenting, and you look at their profile and it says, and I don't know if it's true, but it says that they're veterans. How could any veteran support somebody who is as anti-veteran, anti-American, anti-Constitution as Donald Trump and Shady Vance? I don't get it. I just don't get it. They are now. Look at what Aaron Rupar wrote, the Trump campaign is now publicly denigrating the U.S. military. And they are. They are. My question to you is why? Why would you denigrate the military? Why? What benefit could it possibly be? I don't know. But for whatever the reason is, there are still veterans, and quite a few of them, that is supporting this asshole. I don't get it. I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm angered.